Hi, you guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Ronathan, Ryan. Welcome in. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Excited. Hey, hey. Guys, we're drinking a little vodka lemonade with my strawberry lemonade. Fresh. Oh, yeah, we're super, super fresh. We're super fresh. We're super, super. Hi, you guys. Welcome in, everybody. We're gonna play some 2v8. We're gonna do some open lobbies. Hi. How's everybody Saturday? What was everybody up to today? A. A. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some 2v8. W2v8. Yeah. I had actually some fun at the end of the stream yesterday. Um, they weren't horrible games, so maybe we'll have the same luck tonight. That's the hope. And open lobbies for anybody who wants to play and can't play. Otherwise, I don't mind solo queuing either. But the invitation is open to anybody who is around. I don't think we'll load into killer matches. I think we're just gonna run Survivor and try to get some fun saves. Practice saves, practice loops. We're already in a match. Ryan, how's the movie? Is it which Scream is it? Or is it not Scream tonight? Evil Dead Rise. Ooh, that's fun. Cheers. The tape is so good. The Evil Dead movies are crazy. We're gonna try for saves and try to get good loops like last time. Maybe I should be playing as Gabe or Rella. Why is it taking so long to load in? Ooh. Save the BS. There's a TTV in our lobby. The Billy? Wesker. And Billy. Leon. Leon! Oh my god. Never. Yeah, there's a TTV in here.
Someone? Anyone?
Everybody's on that side of the map. That's kind of insane. Okay, that guy's getting chased. That's Leon. Oh no, that's V. That's V. My bestie. Come save me. Zarina.
Hey.
Ronathan! Ronnie! Ronnie, what are you up to tonight? You wanna play?
You're the best.
I hope you're having a good weekend. Are you ready for Mother's Day? Guys, say happy Mother's Day to Ronnie or else. Whoa! Guys, what just happened to me? Ogbow. Oh, gotta go. Why did he go that way? Nope. Alright, well. Rhea howls, cozy and anxiety just like, no way! That's incredible, Ronnie! The big meetup! How was that? That's so incredible! Ronnie, that's so cool! What'd you guys do? That's exciting! I'm so happy you got to do that. That's so needed. That's so incredible, guys. That you got to meet. Was this your first time meeting in person? Like all of them? Oh, there's Wesker's bum ass. Is anyone still chasing me? Nope. Nope. We went to an oddities market. Ooh, and hung out at my house. That's so awesome. That's so cool, Ronnie. That makes me so happy. No. Dude, I keep rubber banding. I've met Cozy once before, but first time with everyone else. That's so awesome. Well, I hope you guys had the best time. And I'm so happy that you felt like you needed it. Like, I feel like meeting people in person is way better than anything else. I'm very that person. Like, I need to be there with people. You come to California, we can hang out. Dude, West Coast trip incoming. Like, I've been trying to get one done, like, planned. V, I got you. Like, I want to meet Kevin so bad. I want to meet you guys so bad. There's so many people on stream I want to meet. Like, we gotta get the gens done, you know? Nobody has progress. Wesker's over here? Come back down, come back down. Billy's over there. Meeting Kevin, 10 out of 10, no complaints. I want to meet Kevin so bad. It's hot and sexy to do objective. I know, like, it's hot and sexy to do the gens, guys. I want to meet Ryan. I want to meet everybody. I'm so much better in person too. Like,
Your feeble attempts only
and that's what the fuck you get. That wasn't even my blast mine. That blast mine has been on there for a minute. Now, why is everybody on that side of the map? Gag him again.
I appreciate it.
Bye, Billy. Wesker's still around here. Oh.
disappointment. Is that the best you got?
Alright, goodbye. Better in person, homeboy. You're a 10 online. My mind would be blown if you weren't even more awesomer IRL. Okay, so you know what's crazy is that I've gotten that feedback where I'm literally the same in person. You know, like I've met who have I met? I've met a few Twitch friends who I'm still really good friends with, even though they're not really on Twitch anymore. And I think they would all agree that I'm literally the same person on stream as I am in real life. Like, I don't really shy away from being myself. I like to be a clown. I love to tell stories. Ali! Everyone say happy Mother's Day. And Ronnie. Now. I wonder if I'm the same IRL. No, I bet you are. Well, and then Ali's met Pancake, right? No. Who did you meet? Yeah. Yes. That's where you get the kitties from. Justin! Hi. How are you? Ali, how's the soccer game today? Hi, guys. And not a picture in sight from them, too. I know! Wait, did you guys post a picture, Ronnie? In your Discord? I want to see. It was raining and Nola not having soccer today. Oh no! Did y'all skip it? Were you able to skip it? Oh, we have another TTV in our stream or in our game. Guys, I'm gonna wear my Gabe outfit. Is that okay? She played, but she was like, "Oh, Nola." Cute Nola. My dad wanted to leave right away. Oh my god, I can't. Yeah, I need permission from all parties. Yeah, that's absolutely valid. Because, like, obviously we know what you look like, Ronnie. I don't know. I don't think I know what Rhea... No, I know what Rhea looks like. From something. I know what she looks like from something. But she's only 2 hours, so I can see her again. Period. 2 hours is not bad. Where in New York is she? Oh, I guess I shouldn't ask that, but yeah, 2 hours is not a bad drive. Like, that's a great drive for like a day trip. You know, like go in the morning, come back at night. Near NYC. Oh, so she's closer to the city. Do it then. Exactly. Guys, I'm wearing my oversized clothes today. I'm I'm feeling my cozy vibes. This shirt is the double XL. It's so big on me. Ali, Rhea is a hitter when she's drunk. Oh, Rhea been beating people up. Don't forget get your chicken. Ow. I think everyone's gotten their chickens today. So far. I think this is a TTV. Hey. Oh! So Nemesis. And Wesker. Oh, I thought I was running to the gen. Oh! Oh, that was incredible! Oh, that's not the TTV. Wow, looking up is crazy. Why? Why is it not working? Honey, 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 baby. Honey, baby. Guys, my aim is atrocious right now, apparently. What did you drink tonight, Ronnie? Why am I being tunneled? Why am I being tunneled? We haven't done the chance! I'm on a pallet. Why am I getting tunneled out? Industrial strength, margaritas. Sure, the phone. And who the fuck is coming back here? There's Wesker. Get the hell out of here. Can you help me, please? Ooh, Mexican care package. Okay, what's in the care package, Ronnie? I guess this is the wrap for me. Like, I'm just gonna run around. Like, how am I a death hook? We haven't done a single gen. We've done one gen. Can you stop? I'm back. Dustin, baby. Nemesis is there too? Oh, it's a zombie. Oh, I got caught on the chair. I got caught on the chairs. Whatever, bro. A movie? Wait, I didn't know a movie plays. Nice. Oh my god. Why wouldn't you just... Okay, can we talk about this? Why would they take the pallet? Why would they not just take the down for me? Why go out of your way? Why go out of your way to heal me? And not just take the down? And let me run away? I'm so confused. GG's. Good try though. I could tell that they were trying. I got the shield though, got my tome done. Like, that low-key was a little sandbaggy, right? Like, why res me just to sandbag me at the pallet? Hi Kate, welcome in. Me trying to read my chat, I have to get close to it because I can't read. How are you doing, Kate? 13 times? No, Kate, let me find out. How are you? How you been? How's your week? Any TTVs? Yeah, we have 2 TTVs. Alright, we're gonna lock in. Doing great? Dude, hey, I am doing better now that I'm streaming, hanging out with you guys. I had a long day today. So I handle a lot of water at work. And my hands get so dry that I've been using like Vaseline to like hydrate my hands. And because of that, my glasses are always foggy and gross and stained. Hey, what are you up to this weekend? Any Mother's Day plans with family? I wish I had like a regular napkin because the shirt is not shirting the way it's supposed to. We're gonna try to get out this one. This is our 3rd match. Like, how many tries do we need? How many warm-ups do we need? Oh, this just made my glasses worse. So give me 1 second. Oh no, I'm dead. I'm clearly AFK. Oh, check. Okay, I can definitely see now. Sorry, guys. Ooh, they were almost done with that gen too. I don't mind this map there. Let me change my music. was about to say, am I not gonna get saved? Wait. Hi. Where are we going? Oh. What's happening right now? What happened? So, do you want to talk about it? I'm thinking I'm gonna queue into some killer matches then. Like, why is the Chucky over here? I think I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Blinded somebody. Hi Star, welcome in. Star, how are you? How was your time with your sister yesterday? I was Target. What y'all get? Star, the lobbies are open if you'd like. Join some. No pressure though. I understand. You're just chilling. You're allowed to just chill. Okay. Yay. Dude, I've been rubber banding. I feel like he's gonna go up there.
You're mine.
Pick, 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 pick. Michaela, please. Yes. We're doing okay today, Star. Today was a long day. They're both chasing her as crazy. Well, started today with a long day. But I'm happy now that I'm streaming, hanging out with friends, you know? Hanging out here with y'all. I think I am gonna queue into. Whoa. I think I am gonna queue into a killer match or two. Let's play as Huntress. A long date. Yes. Oh, thanks, Star. I'm glad to be here too, and I'm glad I'm live, and I'm glad people can chill and hang out and chat for a little bit tonight. I think it's been a fun night so far. I'm not having the best luck, but I also really am not locked in. So let's play some killer matches and do it like a Survivor queue. Star, how was your day? How was your Friday?
There are really odd things about this place.
Flappy Jinx? You a Pokemon fan? Be honest. Day was also long and I'm not feeling no. You will be okay, Star, and you're better that you're here. We're happy that you're here, Star. So happy. The icon, the Stargazer 5000 has arrived. Ciao. I'm sorry that you had a long day. I hope you're relaxing though and taking some time to yourself. And you know, honestly, on long days, like if I'm not streaming to hang out, I really like to just like sit on my own, just. I'm happy I'm here. Yes, that's what we. This is what we want to see. This song is so good. Star, what are your plans tomorrow? Anything special planned? We're super, super fresh. Back in a match. Back in a match. Oh, now who the fuck? Just automatically showing the killer where we are. The trap. Oh!
I'll see you dead.
Sugar Pea! Hi, Sugar Pea, how are you? Welcome in. How are you doing today, Sugar Pea? Ryan Way 40 stream streak? That's crazy. I'm a fan or whatever. I'm a fan or whatever. It's Mother's Day, me and my siblings are going to her brunch. Aww. That's so sweet. Guys, I miss my mom so much. I miss her so much. We're just so close, and I just wish I lived in the same city as her. I'm doing okay today, Sugar Pea. I had a long day at work today. But we ball, you know, and I'm just happy to be here on stream. I've been looking forward to stream all day. Guys, how do we feel about playing Until Dawn tomorrow? Or The Quarry? Like, I kind of want to replay The Quarry. I did that while blind, by the way. Oh, it's a ghost face. Add Wingstop? Ooh. Just relaxing? Well, I'm glad you're relaxing. How was your Wingstop? What's your Wingstop order? Oh, that's exciting. You should. Those are both good games. I played The Quarry already once, and I really love The Quarry. Like, I want to plat it on PlayStation. Like, I want to achieve my platinum trophy. And I still haven't gotten everybody to be alive. So I think that's the goal, is to try to keep everybody alive. I would love to play The Quarry again. It's one of my favorite games that I've played on stream. We played The Quarry on stream already too. Like we played it through twice, I think, on stream. And then Until Dawn we played on stream for a bit. So maybe I'll just play Until Dawn first, just to get through it, because I've not finished the story yet. So maybe I'll just start a new game tomorrow night. I'm gonna hit the gen. Girl. Like, you're gonna get saved, girl. Star, do you have a preference? Do you like Until Dawn better than After... or the Quarry? After Dark. Until Dawn or After Dark. They should make one called After Dark. Until Dawn or the Quarry? Like, do you have a preference for the two? I really like the Quarry a lot. But Wesker's in Shag. There's Ghostface looking for me, going after Leon. Jen. That's not the Jen I was doing. Can you heal me? Thank you. I love them both equally, but I think I like the characters more in Until Dawn. Really? Okay, well, I think with fresh eyes, I'll feel better about the game. Because I honestly wasn't enjoying it as much as I did the Quarry. But I think I wasn't really locked in. You're a bitch. He's looking for me. He's looking for me. No! He's gonna find her. He's gonna find her. He's stalking her. Oh, he got her too. Okay, he found the Nancy. Sable, stop running. I will still be here, Icon, but I need to lurk for a bit and vibe while I try to feel better. Yes, yeah, take your time and no pressure to be here, like, actively, like, obviously lurk and take care of yourself and just chime in when you feel ready to, like, no pressure at all. We're just here for vibes, you know? Even if you need to just watch. I completely understand. Alright, let's go back to the gen. Wow, the Nancy did not get caught either. Oh, the gen just has no progress. Oh. Aha, revealed him. Aha! Sable mama, mama. Oh my god, Nancy got perceived again. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate you. Yeah, of course. Like, we all got our own things going on. Like, I'm not really pressed about it, and we're friends. Like, I'd rather you feel better, you know? There's Ghostface. Haha, revealed you. I'm dead though. Thank you. Wesker's around here? Oh, there's Wesker. Oh no. Why is there a tree there? Oh, Daniel, you're fading. Actually, I fear Gabriel's the one who's fading. So, you know, we tried. We tried. On the hill is crazy too. Stop, Ryan, don't look. Don't look, I'm flopping. Oh. In more ways than one. The way Wesker's right there is crazy. Alright, Nancy, come get me. Thank you. Where's Michaela doing this gen? Is what I want to know. Oh! Don't look. Okay, but where's this gen? This gen has so much progress on it. Go for a door. I don't even know where he is. Oh, he's right there. Which door is open? Oh, that one. I hear Wesker? Oh no, that's just a bottle of spray that you have in your hand. And just like that. Is that my Justin baby? Hi, Box! ¿Cómo estás hoy? How are you doing? Yeah, it's me. It's me in the flesh. Hell yeah, brother. Pow! Pow, pow, pow! Let's get out. Pow, pow, pow. How are you doing, Vox? Vox, get your check-in.
Now who the fuck did that?
Gifted to Wolfie. Wolfie's doing drunken daylight. Let's Ryan, you were playing Pokemon Unite? You played Pokemon Unite yesterday? And where was I? And how come Justin wasn't informed? Thank you for the resub for 4 months. Thank you. The gifted and the resub. Allie, isn't that funny? So I got a graphics card and was testing it today. Oh, okay. Well, if you do stream Pokemon Unite, which I would be down to stream as well, I would also be down to play and just like practice together before we do that. I love that game. Pokemon Unite. It's a Chucky and oh, and a Huntress. What? And where you going, buddy? Where you going, buddy? Oh! I lost him. I lost him. I lost him. But he could still see me. Three gens done though. Thank you. Look up here. That Huntress is a little scary. Oh. Honestly, what do totems do in this game? Is it Huntress or Chucky? I think it was Chucky. Oh, it's Huntress. Because that's Huntress. Hi, Jam. Welcome in. How are you doing, Jam? Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you? What are you up to today? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna be greedy. Give me the green juice. That green apple vodka. Doing well, relaxing. Hey, on. Thanks for the welcome. Yeah, welcome in. How was your weekend? How's your weekend so far? What were you up to today? Any plans tonight? Oh, check these. Fix the jet. Let's go away. Oh my god, what do you mean? Bitch. You stupid little dog. Why are you vaulting, brother? And he breaks pallets? Wait, what? Here's Huntress. And I lost Chucky. My plans are to climb into bed. It's already 10 p.m. Oh, I forget. You're like on the East Coast, huh? Any plans for Mother's Day tomorrow? Or, wait, no, you're Canadian. Is it Mother's Day in Canada? When's Mother's Day in Canada? And what are you doing, buddy? Down in Texas. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, my mom and I don't live in the same place anymore either, and so I'll probably be FaceTiming her on my way to work. Oh, he knew better than me. Oh, he left me. No, he didn't. He did leave me. I got scared. Huntress knows. Just over there. Huntress knows. Fields. Come on, go ahead, baby. Girl, you don't even know where I am. There. Nia, baby girl. There's Chucky chasing Shaq. Drop the chase. Love that for us. Look at that. How often do you get to see your mom, Jam? Oh. What door was open is the question. Pretty much 2 times a year, her birthday and Christmas. Oh. I'm hoping you get to see her more often soon. Go Chucky. We talk every week. Aw, I try to talk to my mom every time after work. On my way home. I try to call my mom. I used to talk to my mom every day. I miss my mom so much. Allie, what are your plans for Mother's Day? What are you gonna do with the girls? I feel like I asked you this yesterday and maybe I just missed the answer. Or I forgot. Will you forgive me? 1 minute? I guess we'll wait. Ooh, we're in the match quickly. We were gonna go to my. Oh, right. Nola's been coughing and congested. Oh, yeah, you don't want her sick. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I hope you guys get to spend it together though. Like, maybe Nola will magically feel better tomorrow. You know? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, she's been up and down. I'm like, please, Nola, you're almost done with school. Yeah. Yes, like, just wait a little bit. Nice. Oh. Ah, guys, clip that. Ah. Ooh. She didn't even mean to. She just got stuck. Good try, Sable. You got the blind though. Hi, mi momito, ¿cómo estás? Welcome in. Thank you for the check-in. Oh, mi momito mío. How's the movie? Nice. Nice. Ooh! Ooh! Thank you! Gory, just like, oh, so you like a little gore. Thank you for the clips, guys. I can't hear any other gens. Mama, how was your day today? What else were you up to today? Oh. Nice. GG's Wesker. Way to be there. day was good. We had a tornado. We all, I mean, they sounded our tornado alarms. Where's this dead body? Wait. One. Two. I don't know where the Claudette went. I literally don't know where the Claudette went. Oh, it's not Claudette. You too, that scary fuck. Yeah, the alarms went off today. But it was like a beautiful day out, so I just didn't understand. Oh, hello. I don't see anybody. Miggy, kill 'em all! Yeah, literally. That's the plan. That's fine. Hi, Miggy. Welcome in. Thank you for the check-in. We can definitely open lobbies up again. I kind of started playing killer matches, but if anybody wants to play, like, I'm open to playing. Friends. Oh, he's just running. Ooh. Just yoinked. They finished that gen. They had so. You want me to boot? I want all my friends to boot up. Yeah. Hello. So I asked you if you were gonna be tired of it. Oh. Oh. Nice. I did stutter there. Holy. I have to use the bathroom after this match. They'd be here. Wesker. I'm glad your week went really well, Momo. Yeah, it was like your birthday week. Did you have an incredible birthday week? Oh, this is. Ooh, okay. Oh, they got that gen done? I didn't even hear it being worked on. I guess I didn't get that close. 2 knocks. I'm looking for Prince. You spent it with great people? That's incredible. Homo. Honestly, I hope you had the best day, the best week. You deserve it. You literally do, you know? The other stable got up. Oh, because they're all over here. One. That's fine. Hell yeah. Wesker's gotten so many hooks. I'm glad you've been good, Mickey. The thing is, I just haven't seen anybody. Yeah, Wesker, do you see him? I just slapped this whole place. Oh, look, there's a Sable right here. Blending in with... Someone's AFK, too. Alright, time for her. Oh, she's not even dead yet. Gotta find the other two. They're working on this one. Somebody's over here creepy crawling. Like, where are these two? I don't even know what the Sable is. They got no, the Sable's dead here. Oh. One. Girl got out. Hell yeah. You wanna kill her or do you want me to? I'm gonna do it. Hell yeah. And we did a 7K. GG. A GG's. Alright guys, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. We're gonna load into another match. If anybody wants to play, let me know, and then I'll just stop queuing for killer, to be honest. No, not the clip. You're B. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. Oh, you're booted and waiting. Okay, let me get into survivor matches. Not unboot. Oh, there you go. Excuse Yeah, that's crazy. It's right. Momo, come play. You should be booting. It's really the tea. Oh. Oh my god, guys, we got Ryan in here. Operation Find Ryan. Found Ryan. Or more like Ryan found me. Oni, please, Oni, I was joking. Ryan! Operation Sandbag Ryan? Oh. That's not. Like, we're just gonna walk away from me? Who the hell is this? I don't even know who this guy is. What is this character? I'm sorry to that man. I don't know him. If I saw him in the street, I wouldn't know a thing. Oh, it's Spirit. Right? Am I crazy? Richter Belmont from Castlevania? Is that really him? Why did it stop? It stopped healing you and I don't know why. No. No. I still don't know who the second killer is. Nice. That's what happens when you slug, buddy. No way. We might have to get out of here. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. No, 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 no. So, why am I getting stuck on trees? I still don't know who the other killer is. You know, on second thought, these are not how my games are going. I still don't know who the second killer is. I am not trees on rocks, lady. And if I came to protect. Oh, it is the spirit. Okay, I wasn't wrong. Damn. Not them both getting yoinked out of a closet. Well, The words I want to say will put me on a watch list. What the? Hi, Em. How are you? Em, what's going on tonight? How are you doing? So y'all just. The spirit is also tunneling, by the way. Damn, she caught up to me. Yeah, because why are they tunneling you? That was so weird. And then she clearly knows I just got off hook. Like, why are you tunneling me? 7 other people, go chase them. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Guys, I wasn't getting tunneled before. I got tunneled a few times, like, last week, though. You've been playing with Kevin, right? I think I was getting tunneled even playing with Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Oh, Kevin. It's like I summoned you. Kevin, get your check-in. Also, Em, get your check-in. Get your check-in today, Em. It's part of my channel redeems. Marvel Ribbles. Okay, who are y'all's favorite people to play at Marvel Ribbles? And like, maybe describe like what category they are. I don't think anyone's gonna come save me. And just like I thought. Like, no see. Get your check-ins or else. Yeah, literally. Like, you're tunneling me! I just got off the hook! I just got off the hook. Unchecks in. Oh my god, Momo. Get him out. Get him banned. Get him banned. There you go, M. There's a command for that. Okay. If no one else wants to play, Ryan, are you done to do like Killer Goose? Can you wait for me? Oh yeah, yeah. Guys, come play. Yes. Come play, come play. Can I join? Allie, you're gonna play? Allie, come play. Yeah. The whole gang is here. All of us. One of us. One of us. What are you killing? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. I quickly read that, and I drank a vodka lemonade, and I really read, fuck yo, killer quesadilla. Yeah, everybody can play. I did too, and I'm the one who typed it. Flagged as inactive. Excuse me. Kevin! Ria, how are you, Ria? Welcome in. I heard you hung out with Ronnie today. How are you doing today, Ria? Ria, get your check-in. I drunk. Oh. Oh, you didn't accept my friend request. Excuse me? I don't see a friend request. I don't see a request from friends. Ria, what were you drinking? How was your time? Hi, Tyan. No. Oh. Because I can't add on DBD, I guess. Wait. Comms or no comms? Yeah, we can do comms. Why not? I'll just jump in my PC. Wait, Kevin, are you friends with Ali? You should invite Ali. We'll probably end at 2 hours, so we'll play like games for like another 30 minutes. Tyan, Aryan. Now. W check in, Ria. It's on PlayStation? Oh, it's a friend request on PlayStation. Oh, there you can see it. I see it now. I have 3 requests. Dwight Breeder. What? And I don't know who the hell these people are. Those are strangers. Now we're friends. I mean, T. Mi grijolita. Grijolita killed me. That was funny. I'm doing so good, Ria. We were having some good matches. That last match was a fluke. All the friends are joining, so we will have some games before I end stream.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
You know, it's going. How was the movie? Did you guys watch the second movie, or was it just one?
Just one. It was just Evil Dead Rise. Yeah.
Stab,
it was
stab,
really
kill,
fun.
kill, blood, blood. Oh.
Well, yeah, that's the premise. So
You know?
you're not wrong.
How close was I to the plot?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
What's up?
Hi.
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 I'm scared.
Did you guys hear that? That definitely wasn't me. Oh, don't trust Allie.
Please.
Oh no, Allie. You're gonna destroy us. Wow, Ria. I know her. Ria, how was your day? How was your day with Ronnie and the anxiety and cozy? Y'all guys to hang out today.
Leben.
Dude, Ria is obliterated.
Oh, I love
Oh, we
Ria.
love Ria. I had 4 Frank. What were you drinking, Ria? Hi, Mama.
Hello.
Momo.
Swirls and cut water. Oh, so you were asking for it. You were asking for it.
Oh,
Daddy
period.
dying for it. If anyone tells you to drink swirl, just say no. What the fuck is swirl?
A swirl.
I now want to drink
is
swirl.
Kind of fire, not gonna lie.
Okay, describe
It's
it. Describe it. What's inside
It's
of it?
like a slushy that's all has like alcohol in it.
Oh, that sounds
I
good.
live.
That sounds good. That reminds me of Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So much alcohol.
Ria, get behind me. I got you, sister.
Get Alright.
You snooze, you lose.
It's a key. It's a key.
Ew.
It's a key. It's a key.
It's a gunslinger.
I want
Gunslinger's
that
approaching.
shit.
Oh my God! It's Abraham Lincoln.
Oh. What is this hat? I've never seen him wear that.
I'm kind of living.
my last
He said, baby.
my last
it's the
grin
Met
was
Gala.
my last drink was over an hour ago, and you're still feeling it. And a huntress.
So did you just get slugged?
No, he went back.
Basically, yeah.
I feel happy. I'm so happy that you feel happy, Rhea. Okay, but what flavor was your swirl? Questions that need answers.
My throat's pink.
Oh, is that so?
Me smiling like you stupid smile.
I had strawberry and paradise. What flavor is paradise? Let's talk about it. I want to know what number. Paradise.
But it was Hood.
It was good flavor.
When I tell
Shush.
you, that was terrifying.
I didn't care what paradise was, but it was good.
Being
Wow,
followed
Momo.
by Abe Lincoln.
I'm gonna let Rhea breathe.
I love you, Rhea.
Pink is the flavor.
Of my
Strawberry.
swirl. Oh. It's like nobody wants to do gens anymore.
Well, I'm literally dying. So.
Hell
I
no.
know what you are.
Hell to the no, to the no, no, no.
Oh, we gotta go.
I'm trying to get to. Okay, I'm
In
gonna
this
go for
public
random,
lobby,
I
my
guess.
goodness.
In front of all these people.
I just got DP'd.
Oh, I know. They're
Oh, that sounds fun.
kind of sticking
Not by
together.
Abe Lincoln.
Not by Abe.
I mean,
between Huntress and
could be
Abe
worse.
Lincoln, that sounds like a party.
To you.
I don't know about Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I don't know about Abe Lincoln.
Not that skin. Or maybe in a different skin, yes, but not that one.
Maybe in a different skin.
Fucking
Writes it
look at the
down.
Irish coming at me. No.
Luckily, Irish is crazy.
Whole Emancipation Proclamation head ass. Like, don't play with me. Oh shit.
Yeah.
oh, she's trying to give us a haircut. Me still opening the chest.
He's turning right
Yeah,
into
he's
that.
funneling me.
Oh, leave a word. I'll take a hit.
I don't think you can. He's on my ass already. Yeah.
No.
Tis okay.
Damn, they don't want to hit gens. The killer zone. Kevin got yoinked in my face. No way.
Yeah, they're on my ass literally the whole time.
It's the TTV. Was it the Chad?
They might be the Chad.
Oh. Oh.
Nothing
Guys,
like a flop.
let's be
Jesus.
so serious. Let's be so
violent.
serious. Well, what we learned. We learned not to get between them. Yeah, that clip. That was
Maybe
great.
this is 2v8 Jump Street.
Gunslinger's just after me.
Okay, I'll come a body block.
Big whiff. No.
Fuck, Momo, where are you? Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna die.
Ooh, okay, so Huntress got her funky ass arm up.
Like, girl,
Oh,
deodorant.
they're both after me.
Hold on, my Momo. Go. Valid? Not valid.
Gunslinger went back over there. To the chase.
Oh, fuck. Oh, you're fading in. Okay, not anymore.
Oh my god, he's here.
I just realized Allie's just been slugged this entire time.
I'm sick. Wait, where is Allie? Oh shit. I see.
Oh, Allie.
Oh, there's multiple people slide.
Nice, Allie's up. No, Momo. Pour one out for Momo.
Welcome to
Save
the
my
club,
frijolita.
We have donuts and poppers in the back.
Alright, now let me get the fuck out of here before Michaela pops that jam.
Well. Ooh! Ooh! Careful, please! Oh, why are you both on me? I got blinded. You got blinded. That's crazy that you got blinded and she was right there.
Oh, fuck.
You're in danger, girl.
Excuse me.
Me trying to resist yawning right now.
I know, I'm so tired. That's why I'm gonna end at 2 hours. 'Cause I'm so tired. Playing so well, they had to tag team, you know.
Wait, Justin, is anybody coming for you?
Yeah, just now. Oh, but Gunslinger's
okay.
right
Oh, good.
here. Oh, Allie got me. I didn't even notice it was Allie. You know what? I'm gonna try to go for save.
Oh. Hey, Miss Coffee Bean Bean.
Can I get a whiff? Oh, he got me that time.
Me making a way for Abby. Period.
I thought I'm whipping, then I couldn't continue. I was like, well, I'm too close to me. The window to save is so small with flash. Oh. I actually am so bad with flash grenades. Like, I would never actually use them ever. I just have them because it's 2v8. and it's still goofy. I literally just used 2v8 to practice. I think we're all dead, right? Or is Ali still alive? I
Yeah,
thought Ali was
Ali
dead.
is joining us.
Ali's joining us in the dark in the other side.
Gunslinger, why are you dressed up like the 7 years?
Bro, was that right?
Yeah, of course.
It's just a reputation I have.
I know, it was the environment. The trees, the bushes. I got
What?
DP'd. Woo! Happy Mother's Day!
Oh my god.
Happy
Mother's Day.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Well, have you had a Krispy
You ever had a
Kreme?
Krispy Kreme? Was it crispy?
No.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Now I'm gonna go to Krispy Kreme today.
Krispy Kreme sounds good. There's one Krispy Kreme and it's like
Good.
15 minutes away.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I'm holding.
Oh, there's another TTV? Or is it Kevin? Oh, it's Kevin. Irritating.
The way I just thought about it was just like, yeah. Let's
the
do
way
that.
I was actively looking for not my friend. I was like, and who's the other TTV?
The killer.
The killer. Oh, true. Okay, so Among Us. How about that? There's no killers in that one.
Ooh. Among Us sounds like so much fun right now.
We'll just play the easy map for Kevin.
I'm trash.
I'm so bad at Among Us too. I just like the idea of playing the game, you know? And I think they're little cute little beans. Oh god, I hate this place. I hate this part right
Here. I'm coming clear.
It's gonna be a flashy. It's gonna be a flashy. It's gonna be a flashy. I don't want that shit.
What was it? Oh, it's Dracula. And Ghostface.
Ghostface here is gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's Ghostface.
Oh?
I'm sorry, Momo.
No, you're good.
I left you to go on that chase by yourself.
It's okay. Oh, he's still
I was
here.
like,
oh, I ran into
oh.
a gen.
Oh, we love that. Love that. Love that.
Oh, the other
You know
one.
what? One gen chase. I'll take it.
Period. Honestly.
It very much wasn't.
Damn.
He left
Ace
me.
Tree.
Honestly, what she deserves because she kind of bummed me out the way to get to the gen.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna heal her. I'm going right back to the gym. Guys, I'm scared. Oh, and there she goes. Or she blows! I was lost, but so was he. Period.
I'm scared. Oh my god!
I blinded them both. Damn, son. The puppers is just too fast.
On that track, bro.
That's literally one of my sound alerts. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I love your laugh.
Oh, thanks.
I want to make it a redeem.
Oh no!
You just hear you laughing.
That'd be so funny. Let's heal the cabin. Touch me, touch me, touch me.
Touch me, touch me. Fuck me.
Oh, not me and you both trying to be courteous. Wow, we're so polite.
I know, right?
We're so
Honestly,
polite,
truly.
Ryan.
King.
W manners.
Stop with the theatrics.
Fucking mama. Renato?
Huh?
Is that all I heard, Renato?
Screaming.
I'm on my way.
Oh.
Sorry, Allie, Allie!
Okay.
I'm going for the save, Allie. Thank you so much. I fear I'm asleep. Yes, get your sleep, Rhea. Also, drink like a whole gallon of water before bed.
Oh my gosh,
You'll feel better. You won't regret it.
That fucking head.
You won't regret it.
Ghostface is coming, guys. He's right going to
Oh,
you guys
proof?
healing.
Oh, I just walked right past him. I ran right past him.
He's duck walking in the hallways.
Duck walk, duck walk. No waller. We did like Louis. If you know, you know. What do you mean? Nice, nice. Okay, Arella, going upstairs is not gonna help you.
Oh, hey. So Ghostface might be over here somewhere. You know.
Ghostface was right near Dracula. Cosmosis! Welcome in, Angel. How are you? How are you? That was a lot louder. Oh, that's not fun. I'm gonna die here. If you're... Oh, stayed on Allie. Oh my god, W. Sorry, Allie. I didn't mean that, but I did. You know, I just didn't want to die. Astri, come heal me. Astri, please. Wow. Okay. So it's like that.
I didn't know you were there. I'm so sorry.
Astri
It
doll.
was an ace
Well,
there, and I was just like, you know what? Yeah.
and for that, you and Momo and Kevin have to get out now. I saved you. Oh, I know. Allie was trying to save me, and then Ryan tried to kill me. So.
That's crazy. I would never.
Oh yeah, not tries. I mean, I
did.
guess Ali is still alive. She is hanging out
Why are
by,
they hurting
by the
you?
thread.
The fuck? Where
In the corner.
in the corner? I don't. Wait. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're running toward her.
Hit your skill checks, queen. I got you.
Yeah, you are. You're running toward her. Oh no! Just barely didn't make it. Like, damn.
I'm not gonna lie, that's what I hate about 2V, because it's just like too many of y'all are not on gens to not be going for saves.
Right. Right. Right.
Like, this don't piss me off.
Well,
He cut me off. He get that up. I'll give him that.
you're like, fine. You did fine. See, I like the Gabe hat, but then I don't understand what that little dangly thing is. Your skin, Kevin. The little dangly thing on his baseball cap. Oh!
Little fucking bitch.
Fucking Kevin scream. I couldn't scare. Why did I get scared by Ghostface and then even more scared after you screamed? Make it. You make the vault. You make the vault. You're better. Ooh! Oh, you have him swinging. You have him swinging.
Me looping like I have fucking adrenaline.
Loop for dominance. Loop for dominance.
Where's the Sherlin? Where's the... Oh, I see it. Okay.
Oh!
Why is he just now they're both on you? It's crazy.
Well,
I died. Welcome to the other side with me and Momo. We have drinks. We have mojitos for the dead.
not my time yet. Yeah, one more.
Got this, Kevin.
Oh no.
Okay, so don't miss your skill check. Okay, see.
Okay, Kevin.
Go, Diva, go. I don't know where they're coming from, but go.
Ooh.
I forgot. I had to sound like
I said move, bitch.
Move, bitch. No, I could watch White Chick.
Oh my god.
Well, damn. It's okay, Kevin. You loop for dominance. That's all that matters. Ryan gets out.
I think that's the
Ryan was
last
like,
one
well,
for
and
me.
turned around.
It will.
White Chicks is such an iconic movie. The whole script of White Chicks is engraved into my island. And I recite it every day.
No. That's real.
It was great! And apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Why'd you recreate that so perfectly? Oh my god.
Oh, it's again, it's in my blood.
Yes. Look, Kevin, did you say this was your last?
Yeah, that's gonna be my last one. I need to get dinner.
Thank you for
Okay,
the
friend.
games.
Thank you for playing, Kevin.
For the
Go get your food.
games.
What you gonna eat for dinner?
Yes, guys. I think fish tacos.
Well, that sounds hot, sexy.
I'm excited. And I'm
Hot,
hungry.
sexy fish taco.
I hope
Dinner
my
at 8 p.m. Latino purse. That's second dinner.
Yeah, because I had
No.
lunch at like 1 something.
Don't
I
piss me off.
I had dinner at 7 p.m. Allie. I guess you could try. Oh, they're gonna do this. They're gonna slugs take over hatch. No way.
Ooh, that was a dead end. That was a dead end.
Oh!
Oh!
Good try, Ryan. Good try.
And I hear a hatch
You're so
next to you.
good. No way.
Ooh, that's
Ryan, that's a
rough.
wall alley.
Don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off right now.
Ooh.
Okay, and Cheryl, Diva, are you coming for me? Oh wait, Cheryl's coming for me. Hold on.
No
Bye,
way.
guys. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, Kevin. Enjoy
Bye.
dinner.
Bye, Kevin. Enjoy
Bye.
dinner.
Love
Bon apple
y'all.
tea. Bye.
Bon
love
apple
you.
teeth.
Bye. Finally.
Finally.
Okay.
Oh, I found it! I found it! I found it! I found it! I found it!
Ain't no way.
Ah!
GG. I cannot believe I missed that.
That is insane.
Everyone go follow Kevin. Cheryl stole it. Cheryl stole the hatch from you?
Yeah, she kind of ate. and then Ryan got Maury right on top of the closed hatch.
That is so fucked up.
Ooh,
And the
Ghost's
Chad.
name. Their
It was the
names are
Chad.
not it. I'm
What
reporting
were their
them.
names? You're like, I don't
want to
to
say it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm actually only playing one more, guys, so we gotta make it count. We gotta make it count, guys. Last game. Oh, I skipped after Ryan died. Bye, Kevin. Go enjoy your fish tacos. Alright, last game, best game, guys. And then, wait, let's see if Wolfie's still alive. Wolfie is still alive. Yeah, we're gonna raid out to Wolfie. Wolfie's doing Drink by Daylight. With some people in the Latin guilds. Ooh. Alright, we got this, guys. Maybe I'll actually get a save this time.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I calmed down.
You're good?
I'm good now.
You. Oh, okay.
Because if I would have spoke, the Geneva Convention would have had to be called.
Why? What were you gonna say?
I was committing
Oh, it's
war
a
crimes.
fucking blight. And a nemesis.
And the Nemesis can't aim.
It's always a nemesis and his damn tentacle.
Like, put it the fuck away.
Like, put it down, sir. You're gonna hurt somebody. Exactly, Ali. Put down.
I love when Ali uses that emote.
Yeah, I'm glad Allie's. Well, Allie's the one who told me to put it in my streams. I'm glad she's using it because it's literally for her.
It's my fave. It's so cute.
Ooh, Nemesis. Nemesis is fading, y'all. Nemesis is lost, guys.
So is Blade. Ooh, Blade. Play back, child.
That's what I get for not paying attention. Me watching the chases instead of the skill checks.
The streaming. Do we get 3 gems? Oh. I just know their face.
I can't hit a skill check right now. I don't know what's wrong.
So Nemesis is silent.
I think Blade's trying to tunnel.
Was he silent or was he silent?
Ooh.
Thank you, Ali.
Well, yes.
The Hattie just unintentionally teabagged or sandbagged me, but it's okay. It was an accident, I think. She wasn't looking behind her.
Momo, I'm coming.
I got grabbed. Oh, the zombies. The zombies.
Oh shit.
There goes Nemesis too. Where's that Blade?
Oh, that's Blade, but he flopped. Oh. This Blade is interesting and unique. Did he see it? He didn't see it. Please tell me he didn't see it. Oh no, where'd he get going?
Oh my god, I know better than that.
I got grabbed. I'm good. I got,
Oh no, there's a green cloud
I'm in
function.
chase.
Never mind.
Oh, the alley. Yo, these zombies are irritating.
Whoever said he needed 4, I need them fired ASAP.
Fired! Oh, here he comes. A zombie punched me in the forehead. Get him back! They're holding hands now. Why is there a zombie just on us? Wait, Momo, how did this happen?
I was doing the gen and it just showed up. Now I don't know what to
I'm
do.
just saying,
with
like,
it.
how did I spawn next to it?
I know. You spawned right in the middle of me trying to get rid of it. And there's another one here, and I got 2 of them on me.
Thank you, Ali, you icon.
Oh, you're fading Nemesis.
take him away. Oh, there we go. Nice.
I think Blight. That's Blight coming.
Oh yeah. Oh hey.
There's Nemesis. Just yoink somebody in the closet. Oh my god, guys. We need to get on a different gen, huh? Where's this Nia? Where's this Nia work?
Unfortunately, there's 3 gens next to each other, so we're gonna have to push this side.
Or the Yui is on one. Wait, which one's Yui? Oh, it's dead.
Oh my god, don't piss me off.
So that's not.
Did I bring him to you?
Yep. No, I
I'm so
went to
sorry.
try to do the gen. No, it's not your fault. Yeah, Hattie, I'm sorry. You gotta take that. Well, Hattie didn't even take it. Hi, Hack. Hello, hello. What's all this then, governor? Howdy, mates. Howdy, motherfuckers. Hi, Hack. This is our last game. You're just in time for the last game. And you got your check-in, yeah. We're gonna raid out to Wolfie. He's playing some games with Latin Guild today. And I wanna go be supportive.
This fucking zombie.
Yeah, no, Hattie, we have to just get the gen done, girl. No, sorry. Hattie, you have no hooks. You can stand to take a hook, girl. You have no hooks.
She said, I don't
She's
know
like,
about that.
"Help
Do I
me,
have
help me,
to?
help me, help me." Like, girl.
Deep breaths, Diva. It's not that bad.
You are literally, yeah, she has no hooks.
I swear, I'm gonna like crash out if I get another zombie on me.
Who brought light over to us? Nemesis, big ass. Go, girl. What are you doing?
Where was the gen you were working on? Oh,
Right outside of
here
me.
you fucking go. Sorry, Blade's back on me again.
Oh, finally.
Oh, period. My gen was not too far from there.
Light came over here.
Yup.
I took Nemesis from that chase. Maybe? Yep. No, he's looking for...
Fuck.
The zombies, I know. I haven't
No,
even been hit
barely.
by a zombie. They're just like annoying. I'm almost dead? Wait, when did that happen?
right before the second gen pop.
Oh, baby, I've been dead.
Not the second gen.
Yeah.
This Hattie's pissing me off.
Yeah, Hattie like can totally take a hook. Like, what are we doing?
Because the way this Yui needed healing, and she was just like walking away from her, like, Diva, just heal. There's nobody over here. You do not have to stealth.
I don't know where the other gens are. They're all on one side, huh?
Yeah,
Hey.
they basically are all on
Hey,
one side.
Allie. On the internet, girl. Every...
God, don't.
This is. Yeah.
And of course, there's a zombie over here. John takes me on.
I saw the zombie whack you. I'm so sorry.
When I tell you I'm over it,
Jump scare is crazy. He was not even near me.
because why are you turning back around? Go away. Oh.
I just watched the zombie fall off. I don't know if we're gonna get any of these gens done. They keep just patrolling.
If you can make it to Caltree, you can probably push this one.
Well, I was really trying to go for the window. Somehow Hattie has no hook still. Oh, neither do you. But didn't you get hooked once? Oh, keep working on it. I will hold off. Keep working.
Hello? Please tell me you saw that. And that Wi-Fi connection hit that he just did.
I'm cackling. I watched that. The hello sent me.
Maybe I just get off DBD for the rest of the day. Before I go.
Iconic. Good to get Ryan off the hook.
Well, luckily I'm by a door, so. Oh, all of us are by a door. We can leave Hattie on hook. Oh wait, be
Looking for
careful.
which one you are.
Run over.
Ryan's the
right
middle
there,
one,
next
yeah.
to it.
That one.
Oh, they're right there. Okay. Where's Blake?
I don't know, but Yui was working on a door. And...
Okay, I'm
oh,
gonna start
Nemesis.
this one. Yeah.
Nemesis over here with Yui.
So we can start this one. I guess we can save Hattie. Oh, never mind. I'm in chase now.
No, I'm on Yui's door. I'm on Yui's door. I'm in Yui's door.
Okay. I'm running.
Doors open. Okay, Ali's here, and okay, the team is all here. And
You
Hattie,
get the fuck out.
Hattie, you could choke.
That's
GG's. GG's. Thank you for the games, guys.
Of
It's time for
course.
Justin to go. Mimi,
Thank you for the games. I
thanks
appreciate
for playing with me.
you all.
I appreciate y'all. Have a
Buenas
good night.
noches.
Have a good night.
Bye. No, thank you, Ali. Thank you for the game. Well, that's a big GG's, guys. We're gonna raid out we're just gonna jump into the raid to Wolfie. Let's go show Wolfie some love. And thank you for being here, Em. You're incredible. Thanks for the vibes. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I hope everyone's having a great night. Thank you for games, Ryan and Kevin and Momo and Ali, and hopefully we can get some games in tomorrow. But I think I want to play start playing Until Dawn. Wait, why did my raid go through? Why is it not working? There you go. All right, guys. Yeah, I definitely want to play Until Dawn on stream tomorrow. So I think we're gonna start stream with Until Dawn or end stream with Until Dawn. I'm not sure yet, but today was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll play some 1v4 matches or even Among Us if we can get enough people. Maybe I'll put an announcement in Discord, and if enough people like the message, then maybe we can get a game in. Get at least like 8 people. I think it'd be fun. Until Dawn, yeah. I think Until Dawn would be fun. Ryan, unless you want to play something else, Ryan. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Stream is always fun when you guys are here, and I only do this to hang out with you all. So you make every minute of this so much fun. And I'm so grateful that you guys come and hang out with me all the time. It means so much to me. And one day we will all meet in person and have a drink and a laugh and a hug. It was for redoing the raid messages after I worked hard. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not used to it. I'll be better. Alright, guys. Let's go hang out with Wolfie. Nos vemos. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you. Bye.